Welcome to the 2022 Winter Classic Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. Now, here are your hosts, Dan Olds and Addison Snell.
Welcome to another episode of the Studio Update Show. This is our show for the 2022 Intersect 360 Winter Classic Invitational Student Cluster Competition. I'm Dan Olds. Addison Snell, my broadcast partner, is out on special assignment. Well, today we're sitting here watching our pals at University of Texas, El Paso eating some ribs. Nice job. Very nice. You got some fixins there too, or just the ribs?
We have cornbread too.
We have cornbread. Nice. Nice. Now, do they put the white bread, the slice of white bread underneath the ribs? You know what I'm talking about? There's places that do that, the real old school places.
They do that for the brisket, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good deal. Good job. Well, this should be kind of a celebratory dinner, except you don't know the reason why.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
Did we do good in the last event?
There's some news out there.
Oh, really?
Let me go ahead and take a look. All the scores are in from Oak Ridge. What'd you guys think of that? That was kind of tough, don't you think?
It was an interesting one, right? It was tough though. It was.
Yeah. It was not. I mean, the average score for that out of 100 is 64.25.
Okay.
So pretty low curve.
Okay.
And there's some teams that couldn't submit. There are some teams 65, 70, a team at 95%. 4 teams at 100% though.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. And one of the reasons you should be celebrating is that you're one of those 4 teams at 100.
All right.
Did Tennessee get 64?
No, they did not. Tennessee is one of the other teams at 100.
Okay.
But in the update show that you're going to see when we go into the leaderboard, there have been 6 teams that have changed places in terms of their slotting.
Okay.
You're one of those teams.
Oh, wow.
Good.
That's good.
And you would not believe how close this is now.
Yeah.
And let me start out with the number 5 team or number 6 team, which is Texas Tech, the Matadors. They have 402 points.
Okay.
The number 5 team, which is Prairie View, has 404 points. The number 4 team, which is Florida A&M, has 413 points. The number 3 team has 422 points, and that's you.
Okay. All right.
You have climbed the ladder. The team ahead of you at number 2 has 437 points, and you've got 422.
Okay.
They're within sight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's still 200 points to be earned.
Right. That's correct.
I believe that you guys told me after the pop quiz that you were going to build on that.
Yeah.
Right?
So we were going to build on it?
Yeah.
To keep trying to make it all the way up. Yeah.
Because you guys had the top score on that pop quiz, if I remember right.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
And you said in an email, you said you were going to build on that, and you did.
Yes.
I mean, back then, hell, after the first event, you guys were 6th and not the strongest 6th in the world.
Right.
And you built on that, and you've moved from 6th to a strong 3rd. Impressive.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very impressive. Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So how did you do this?
So, I think this one was harder for a lot of teams for example, because Well, the other things, they're kind of like, if you're a smart guy, yeah, you can pick it up in a week. But this one was kind of like, even if you're smart, if you don't have a background in machine learning,
Yeah.
are you gonna be able to do it? So that was a good advantage for me, that,
Yes.
and I feel like that's fair because I don't know if someone who hasn't put in as many years as me should be able to just, beat me. So it's nice that I get rewarded for.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, the other thing on some of these, I get reports about how many jobs the team has run, how many different people have logged on for the particular team and stuff like that. You guys are all doing stuff. All of you. You've all logged into systems. You've all run jobs. And it's different with some teams. One person's kind of rowing the whole boat.
Right. Well,
And it's not the case with you guys.
I gotta say that these guys are the leaders right now, but I mean we're learning from them, so this has always been a good experience. I really like the Oak Ridge, the modules that they put out there for you.
Pretty good training.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's been intensive training, right? We've been looking at videos as much as we can, learn from HPC, even in our downtime, to see efficiency training. How do we get more things more efficient? Not just how to run it on just one core and then calculate the efficiency from there.
Yep.
Understand how parallelism works, hyper-threading, understand that it's actually not true level parallelism, but rather fast context switching between threads. So that's why SAM applications benefit from it.
Some do, some don't.
That's stuff like that.
That's great stuff to know.
That was something I learned about too in the training modules. They were about the directive-based programming.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was a thing before. And then how you could parallelize a section of code without telling it exactly what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You just put the keywords and it'll parallelize that section. I thought
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's also, I think, the first time you guys have really done a lot of work with GPUs too, right?
Yeah, a lot of CUDA.
I've done a little bit, like chapter 1 of a book in CUDA.
Yeah.
Like 1 to 1, maybe a little bit of chapter 2, but I never really got the chance to get deep into it.
They make a difference.
Yeah.
They will make a difference. You can really scream on those, and you're using 6 of them.
Yes.
I mean, that's outstanding. You guys have been on millions of dollars worth of equipment so far, probably 10, 15 million dollars if you add up the resources you've got to use. That's pretty cool. So one of the things I got to ask, have you guys all put your resumes up yet?
I have. Yes.
Okay. Rest of you guys do that. You've got an email from me telling you how, because we've got mentors and sponsor organizations that want to see you.
Okay.
And who has a job for the summer or a full-time job? Anybody yet?
Got the TA position, but I mean.
No, I mean a real job. Come on, man.
I have a tutoring position. It's not really.
Yeah, he's a tutor.
Oh. Yeah, but you looking for a real summer gig?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's available, yeah.
I think they're going to be available. Yeah.
Growing
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to start making a dent in that loan.
Student loan.
Yeah, right. That's the idea.
Well, for instance, one of our mentor organizations, NASA, is looking for people. And as soon as you get your resumes in, I'm going to shovel them over to them and the other organizations.
Okay.
So that wouldn't be a bad thing. Do a summer with NASA, maybe get a full-time job. Who knows? Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan, you think I should still apply? I feel like I'm just here in the background, like learning a little bit. Like I feel like they understand better.
No, you should apply. Absolutely. Because you're learning all this stuff. Think about it, right? You're doing this on your own time. This isn't part of a class. This isn't part of anything you have to do. That's unusual for students to do that. Right? And, you're interested. You want to learn. You can learn. You've proven that. You can work on a team. You've proven that. And by the end of this competition, you'll be able to say that you've run these applications on a real supercomputer. And these are real applications. And you've at least dipped your toes into how to optimize them and know how they run. Mm-hmm. That puts you way ahead of the people that have just been in the classroom. Absolutely. No question about it. So should you apply? Hell yes. Absolutely. And you should get me your resume, and we will spread it around to our sponsors and mentors. And we will help you get into this business. No question about it.
Yeah.
And they get, I mean, most of their very few of their hires are people that can hit the ground running.
Right.
This is rocket science. People need to be taught that, and they're more than happy to do it.
Right.
Another thing coming up that I think you'll all be interested in is the Bruckner Award. We did that last year, and we sort of spread it around to a bunch of students. This year is a little more focused. One student from each team is going to get, wait for it, $2,500. And that was with Addison and I putting up 10,000 of it. Then HPE came in and added 12 more thousand to that. And then the head of HPE added $6,000 personally to it. So we've now got a total of $2,500 for one person on each team. Now, what do you have to do to be eligible for that? You do have to do something. You got to write a one-page essay. No more. Easy enough to do. Tell us about what you plan to do in the future and how this money might help out, stuff like that. Easy. Give us a copy of your transcripts. It's going to be held confidential. Going to go up to our secure server. We just want to make sure you're like really a student. That'd be cool.
You want to
They don't have to be official. They can be unofficial.
Okay.
Yeah. Just don't let me see where you did white out and change grades and stuff like that. PDF format, please. And you're eligible from there. So coming down the road, you've got that stuff. Then we have AWS, which I think is going to be fluid dynamics, but don't quote me on that. I'm not positive yet. You'll be hearing about that at the latest over the weekend.
So similar to NASA, competition of fluid dynamics, CFD?
Closer.
Close.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's closer to the NASA stuff than to the Oak Ridge stuff.
Okay.
It's more traditional HPC. Let's see. And then we've got the judge's interview, which is key. So you want to make sure you're keeping your application briefs up to date. If you've done those correctly, you should be able to just sort of pin those together in a PowerPoint and have a nice, concise presentation for them.
Very well.
How long should that be?
Well, it needs to cover pretty much everything you've done. So it needs to cover the 4 modules, the 5 modules. You don't need to say much about the pop quiz, but you could throw a little something in there about it. But what we want you to do in that is to talk about how much you optimized each application, a little bit about the steps that you took to do it. And think of it this way. This is really the only thing that the judges will know about you until you get into the actual interview. This will be the thing that they'll see on paper before they interview you and what they'll be leafing through as you take them through the presentation.
Okay. How big of a time slot do we have with them?
To be like 40 minutes.
Okay.
40 minutes. And how long do you want us to leave for questions?
I would probably tighten my presentation down to where it's about 25 minutes because you never know what kind of tangent you might end up going off on with their questions.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. And just make sure everybody has a part and, so they can see that it was a team effort, not just one person saying everything or answering all the questions, and you'll be fine. And if you guys max out the rest of the way, maybe one of the top teams stumbles a little bit. It happens. So you are well positioned right now. So enjoy those ribs.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And have yourself a good night. You've deserved it. You've worked hard and it's paying off. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, get back to your ribs. I'm going to go have something crappier here. I don't know what. It's time to eat. Okay, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, see you later.
Please not do that too.